At Frontier Asset Management, we spend a lot of our time thinking about risk, defining it, measuring it, coming up with strategies to manage it. We are driven by an overarching principle to help you separate from the herd. We want to find fundamentally different ways to think about investing and find the space where others aren't. Because if you're in lockstep with the crowd, you can't rise above the rest. So how does Frontier Asset Management help you stand out by offering something different to your clients? Two ways. First, we help define and manage risk in our strategies in a way people can understand. How much is a person willing to lose on an investment in a given year? 5%? 10? 15? 25? There is no exact answer that fits everyone. It is up to the investor and their advisor to decide how much risk they can tolerate. But most investments don't tell you how much risk they carry, other than some antiquated stock-to-bond ratios, which may not help when both are moving in the same direction. Frontier Asset Management has a dynamic downside focus, establishing a downside risk target for each strategy, then building and dynamically optimizing asset allocation around that number based on our risk, return, and correlation expectations of more than 16 asset classes. Working with us allows advisors and investors to choose a strategy that best fits one's downside risk tolerance, while still seeking maximum upside within that level of potential risk. With that in mind, an investor can weather downturns more confidently and stay on track, knowing how much risk their portfolio can tolerate. Second, Frontier Asset Management doesn't subscribe to the style box approach of building strategies, where filling the slices of a pie chart with a matching fund is the only effort given to seek diversification and return. Our approach is called fund fusion, part art and part science. The goal is to find top fund managers and the optimal mix of funds to construct our strategies. Many skilled managers don't invest narrowly in a single asset class. So instead, we look at fund managers individually to find the ones who meet our stringent criteria and ones we believe can perform well in the future. Then we test and retest different combinations using our algorithms to find the optimal expected mix for each strategy. We get a strong diversity of asset classes and managers in this way, but we aren't just checking a box. We really are on the frontier. For more than 2 decades, Frontier Asset Management has been headquartered in Sheridan, Wyoming, where we live and work among people with a strong independent streak and a tradition of directness and honesty. Seeing things differently, away from Wall Street, is part of what allows us to take a different approach. Some asset managers are so huge, there is no way they can get away from the crowd. They are the crowd. Frontier Asset Management, by contrast, is large enough to work with anyone, but still operates on a human scale. Frontier Asset Management gives you multiple ways to separate yourself. Just as investors hedge their positions with holdings that perform differently, working with Frontier Asset Management lets you stand apart and take a different path.